It is officially December 1st. We've almost made it through the entire calendar year, and for those of us in the northern hemisphere, it's about to start getting extremely cold and snowy. Depending on where you live, of course. What better way to celebrate the month when winter officially begins than by taking a look at some of the best snow-themed levels to ever exist inside of a video game. And before we even get started, yes, we are aware Nintendo is represented a lot in this list. It's not our fault the Big N likes to put amazingly well done snow levels in practically every single one of their games. I'm Bryan from Level Down Games, and this is our top 10 snow-themed levels in video games. One of my favorite memories from the Nintendo GameCube was Rogue Squadron 2: Rogue Leader. And honestly, when thinking of that game, only one thing comes to mind: the Battle of Hoth mission. In my opinion, it was the quintessential Hoth experience out of any Star Wars game up to that point, and taking down the enemies and wrangling those AT-ATs just never got old. It's a mission that I replayed to death over the years, and still occasionally go back to even in the present day. Speaking of the Nintendo GameCube, we're going to be sticking with it here for a bit, and trust me, it'll reappear later on in the countdown. The Legend of Zelda franchise is no stranger when it comes to having areas of the game take place in a snowy landscape, but one of the best times we ever saw it done was in The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. The Snow Peak ruins are accessible after Wolf Link scales a snowy mountain, tracking scents and battling enemies, before getting to snowboard back down toward the dungeon. Known for having the most dungeons in the Legend of Zelda series, Twilight Princess left us wanting more in the snow when it comes to Zelda games. Remember when I said we'd be seeing more of the Nintendo GameCube soon? Our number 8 entry on the list comes from Metroid Prime, and of course, we're talking about Phendrana Drifts. Its location is to the far west-southwest edge of the Talon 4 area, and also towers high above the rest of the locations. In fact, over in Japan, this particular area was known as Ice Valley. It was one of the more breathtaking things to exist on the GameCube at the time, and just thinking about it now has our hype levels soaring through the roof for the upcoming Metroid Prime 4 on Nintendo Switch. Maybe we'll see another epic snow-themed level in that one too. We can only hope. The Iceman stage is one of the first 6 that you encounter in the original Mega Man game on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Equipped with the Ice Slasher and weak to the Thunder Beam, so hopefully you already defeated Electric Man, or Elic Man according to the game's manual, to get that weapon. Perhaps my favorite stage from the original Mega Man. I love the usage of snow and ice, and the fact that the game originally released the week before the holiday season had gamers all throughout the world overjoyed to see more ice and snow. The Last of Us truly is one of gaming's most recent masterpieces and will continue to stand the test of time as the years roll on. While we patiently wait for Naughty Dog to finish The Last of Us Part 2, we can think fondly back on perhaps the best sequence of events that took place in the original, which just so happened to be found in the game's 9th chapter, Lakeside Resort. Some of the most emotional moments take place in and around this snowy cabin landscape, and diving too much deeper into it would honestly spoil it for anyone that has yet to experience this powerful moment in gaming history. If you haven't played The Last of Us yet, you honestly owe it to yourself to do so one of these days. There just isn't many games out there like it. Thinking of Banjo-Kazooie, there's a level that stands out to me as one of the most unique and most fun to play through. Of course, I'm talking about Freezeezy Peak. While all of the snowy themed levels and areas on the list are definitely packed full of the white stuff, none are filled more with the amount of holiday cheer and Christmas decor than this entry. Featuring sleds for racing, presents to collect as part of the collect-a-thon mentality, gigantic snowmen to climb and explore, and even Christmas tree ornaments that need to be rescued. This level is sure to put anyone into the holiday spirit and make them have snow fever. It's no secret that I'm a huge fan of World of Warcraft, but did you know my current favorite race to play as are the Dwarves of Ironforge, which just so happen to make their home nestled in the mountains of snowy Dunmoreau. When playing through World of Warcraft as a dwarf for the first time, I was absolutely mesmerized by the sights and sounds while out killing boars and trying to power my way up to max level. It's a zone I regularly return to visit, even though there isn't much of a need right now unless something needs to be done that can only be accessed in an original city. I always preferred Ironforge over Stormwind City anyway. There really isn't a more fun way to kick off a Sonic the Hedgehog level than with the blue guy jumping on a snowboard, cruising down the mountain, and heading for the caverns below. All of the usual obstacles you'd come to expect from an ice and snow themed level are there to avoid, such as ice spikes, snow-covered bridges, and giant ice boulders. And since everyone knows we're huge fans of video game music, hence why we do a video game music podcast called BG Mania on iTunes and Google Play every Wednesday, it's cool that this stage has music supposedly composed by the late great Michael Jackson. Another thing a lot of fans know we are huge fans of here at Level Down Games is Animal Crossing. In particular, my favorite is still by far the original on the Nintendo GameCube. When December 1st rolled around after getting the game, I saw how the seasons changed over from fall to winter, and the snow started falling, some of the trees were decorated with Christmas lights, and who can forget the snowballs you'd be able to roll around and attempt to build a snowman. But wait, remember, you have to do it just right so that you can actually talk to the snowman and make him happy, or else you'll miss out on the rare snowman set of furniture. December in Animal Crossing ultimately concludes with Jingle making a visit to town on Christmas Eve, where you can get a very cool holiday-themed set, which continues to be my main set in the original Animal Crossing to this very day. Hopefully the Nintendo Switch version continues this tradition whenever it finally gets announced and released. Hint hint, Nintendo. Number 1 was never going to be anything other than Cool Cool Mountain from Super Mario 64 on the Nintendo 64. Mario 64 is still one of my all-time favorite games, and the memories I have from that time period of gaming I don't think are ever going to be topped. I try and recapture those feelings from time to time, but they can never be replicated or duplicated, and that's probably for the best. Full of things to collect through various winter activities such as racing a penguin and exploring the snowy mountain, just thinking back to the first time I jumped into the painting featuring the snowman brings a smile to my face every single time. And that's our list for the top 10 snow-themed levels in video games. Did we completely forget about something else that deserves to be on this list? Let us know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share, and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. Once you're done with that, and if you want to stay up to date on all things Level Down Games, you can follow our main account on Twitter at OriginalLDG, I'm at Bryan_LDG on Twitter, and at Bryan.LDG on Instagram. We can be found on Facebook for general posts and information, and twitch.tv/LevelDownGames for all of our live streams. Doing all of these things will ensure that you never miss an episode of the Top 10 series on Fridays, and will also allow you to catch the latest episodes of Max Level, our video game podcast, on Mondays. Game Oracles, our video game trailer show, on Tuesdays, BG Mania, our video game music podcast, on Wednesdays, and The Gorgeous Lads of Wrestling, a podcast dedicated to professional wrestling, on Thursdays. Plus, you'll also be able to see all of our video reviews, unboxings, let's plays, reaction videos, and so much more. Of course, all this content can also be found on our main home on the internet, and hopefully yours as well, LevelDownGames.com. Until next week, keep on gaming.